in preparation of the Last Dance, let's take a look at Venom, released in 2018. This is a kind of a divisive movie. Some people love it and some people hate it. Um, this is a movie I haven't seen ever since it first came out. I saw it in the theater in 2018, and I really liked it. But I haven't got back to the movie since. Before I watched Let There Be Carnage, I didn't come around to it until today, so I can prepare myself for the Last Dance. Um, and I do think this movie is decent. It's a thousand times better than Madam Web, of course, and unsurprisingly better than Morbius. It's a hard decision to say, and not just the portrayals of Venom, if this movie is better or worse than Spider-Man 3. Um, I'll get to some of the positives. The performances are really good. Tom Hardy does a solid job as Eddie Brock, who's this journalist who, after trying to expose Drake, he and after Anne breaks up with him, he struggles in life, and then when he, alongside Dora, breaks into a lab and gets the symbiote powers, he goes through loses his mind. Like most of it seems like, what's going on? Hey, hey, did your mama didn't love you? Like that's pretty much his performance throughout the second act of the movie. Like, and it is hilarious, honestly, especially when he was eating, trying and failing eating stuff at a restaurant that Dan and Ann were. He is really funny in this movie, and his performance as Venom is entertaining. He does a good voice performance, and he does have some funny lines as well. Though some lines are confusing or dumb, like "I'm kind of a loser, like you." um, Michelle Williams is alright as kinda the love interest. I mean, at the beginning she was, but no longer outside of the She Venom scene, which was kind of fun as honestly. And don't know the actor's name, but the dude who plays Drake, he's alright. He's not a great villain. He's just kind of a boring villain because he just kind of outside. Because while his motivation to kill Eddie is just to get the symbiote back is understandable, him just turning evil with when he gets Riot is kind of out of nowhere because he really was going for it once he gets the Riot powers to take over the Earth. Um, and the action in this movie is a lot of fun, though the CGI is not perfect. There are some fun action in this movie, like the big scene where Eddie fights like the uh, Drake's henchmen, and the big climax between Venom and Riot, while kind of horribly CG'd, is still fun. Honestly, it's still fun. Um, and I thought the post-credit scene setup for Carnage was fine, even though the wig is kind of weird. Um, but let's go to the flaws for a second. First off, which obviously is a lot of people's infamous complaint, but Riot, what were you doing 6 months? Because before the whole 6 months later thing, he just uh he possesses another Asian elderly, and then 6 months later a few scenes later, it cuts to riots at the airport, where then later he possesses a little girl, and then he goes there and possess Riot, or takes over Riot on it actually. But what were you doing 6 months? Just walking around like Malaysia, just like okay. Um, I also thought this movie is PG-13, but a lot of the scenes where Venom bites a guy's head off is kind of quickly like quick. Like the scene where he like when he first bites a guy's head off, it doesn't feel like his head was fully bitten off. Honestly, and the second time it happens, more specifically, when she Venom bites a guy's head off. I mean, it's up. You can see the it has no longer a head. It still feel it's probably the best of it. Um. Also, the ending is quite confusing because after Eddie has a quick interaction with Anne and a Stan Lee cameo, um, Eddie and Venom reunite, even though in the climax, they kind of separate because Venom sacrifices himself and Eddie falls to the water, and I guess he gets rescued by, I don't know, like the police or the, like firefighters or helpers. How did Venom find where Eddie was, and how did he manage to survive that big rocket battle or explosion? That feels weird. Um, and also when Venom bites the robber's head, like I guess kills the robber that we saw a few scenes ago. Um, it feels weird because not only you don't see the dude's body or even blood on the ground, because I guess PG-13, but also even before you see that there's no body, you don't hear him going just before Venom bites his head off, I guess. So it feels odd. It feels weird. And also the Venom rap, it was it was something. Um, and also is I don't know how many people talk about it, but if you watch the whole thing, you will notice that you will watch a 6 minute clip of Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. I mean, I really thought, I think Into the Spider-Verse is a really good movie, but what does this have to do with the Venom movie? It's just literally the clip from across the Spider-Verse. Um, I don't know if that's because Sony wants to hype up across the Spider Verse, or wait, actually, Into the Spider Verse, Spider Man Into the Spider Verse. Across the Spider Verse is the sequel that has Miss Chen as a cameo, by the way. Um, but I don't know why Into the Spider Verse scene is in this movie. Because it's literally the exact same scene that you'll watch in like the Into Spider Verse movie. No difference is there in that scene. Makes no sense, honestly. It really doesn't make sense. Um. So overall, Venom is now, saying they're pointing out some of the flaws. It's kind of worse than I remember. It's not horrible. It's just kind of meh, I guess. I mean, there's some fun action, decent performance, and Eddie and Venom are fun to watch. But the rest of it is just kind of blah. So, what are your thoughts on the first Venom movie? Let me know in the comments below.